Scars without bruises, the silent wounds left by toxic parents. It begins quietly. No fists. No blood. No screaming down the hallway. Just a cold sentence here. A sarcastic laugh there. An eye roll when you share your feelings. A door closed just when you needed it open the most. This is how toxic parenting often starts, not in rage, but in silence. And for a child who depends on their parents for identity, love, and validation, that silence can feel louder than any scream. This is the story of Ayan, a soft-spoken boy who learned very early that not all wounds are visible, and not all pain is allowed to be felt. Chapter 1: The Invisible Prison. Ayan was 9 when he stopped looking in mirrors. It wasn't sudden, more like a slow retreat from himself. "You're getting fat," his mother would say, while slicing cucumbers for dinner. "Boys shouldn't have such big hips," she'd add, as if she were stating a fact about the weather. No malice in her tone. No cruelty in her eyes. Just observation. That kind of commentary wrapped in casualness, like the sting shouldn't hurt if it didn't come with a shout. But it did hurt. Deeply. Children believe what their parents say, even when it's toxic. Maybe especially when it's toxic. And so Ayan started skipping meals, not because he wanted to lose weight, but because he wanted to lose the shame. Chapter 2: Questions That Cut. When Ayan spoke, he chose his words carefully. Too carefully. Because questions weren't just questions in his house, they were judgments in disguise. "Why do you talk like that? Why do you always blink so much when you're nervous? Can't you sit like a normal boy?" The truth was, Ayan didn't know why he blinked too much or talked too softly. But every question made him believe he was somehow defective. Children internalize sarcasm as truth. And Ayan, like many, learned not to speak unless spoken to. Not to move unless directed. He learned to exist quietly, hoping invisibility would earn him safety. Chapter 3: Wishes That Wound. One night, during a heated argument, his father muttered, "I should have never had kids. You ruined everything." Ayan pretended not to hear. But words like that don't just float into the air and disappear. They embed themselves into a child's self-worth. "I shouldn't have been born," he whispered to himself that night under his blanket, tears soaking his pillow. Psychologists call this a core belief, a deep-seated, often unconscious view about oneself. And Ayan's core belief became, "I am unwanted." From that moment on, he stopped asking for things. He stopped celebrating his birthday. He began to believe that his existence was an inconvenience. Chapter 4: The Burden of Being. "You're expensive. Always needing school stuff," his mother sighed one day at the grocery store. It was a passing comment. But it hit Ayan like a slap. He never asked for new clothes again. He started fixing old shoes with glue. He faked sickness during school trips because he didn't want to cost his family anything more. When parents treat their children like burdens, children grow up believing they are burdens to everyone. And they carry that belief into every relationship. Chapter 5: The Comparison Curse. Ayan had a cousin, Zaid. Same age, same school, same grade. But Zaid was louder, faster, stronger, more popular. "Why can't you be more like Zaid?" was a question Ayan heard every month, sometimes twice a week. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't outrun the shadow of comparison. It's not that he disliked Zaid. He just hated himself when Zaid succeeded. Because every one of Zaid's wins felt like Ayan's failure. What Ayan's parents didn't understand was, children are not projects to be improved by benchmarking. They are souls to be nurtured as they are. But Ayan's soul was wilting under constant comparisons. Chapter 6: Words That Never Leave. By age 13, Ayan had a list in his head, words his parents had used for him. Stupid, lazy, weird, hopeless, dumb, a mistake. He repeated these to himself in the mirror every time he failed a test or lost a game. It didn't matter that he was kind, that he helped his classmates, that he loved music and had dreams of becoming a teacher one day. His identity was reduced to their insults. Because to a child, the parent's word is gospel. And when the gospel turns cruel, the faith dies. Chapter 7: The Fear of Being Left. One afternoon, after an argument over something trivial, his mother shouted, "One day, I'll just leave. Then you'll understand how hard I have it." Ion didn't speak for days. He began hiding snacks in drawers. He made a backup list of emergency contacts. At 14, abandonment threats might seem like emotional outbursts to parents, but to a child, they are earthquakes. That one sentence planted a fear that lingered for years: people I love will leave me when I'm not good enough. Even when friends stayed. Even when mentors supported him. That fear whispered, they'll leave too, eventually. Chapter 8: Promises Made, Promises Broken. Every exam season, Ion would study hard. His father would say, "Score above 90 and I'll buy you that guitar." He scored 93. The guitar never came. "Next time, you get into science stream, and I'll take you to the mountains." He got in. No trip. After a while, Ion stopped believing in promises. He started assuming that people just say things to get you to do what they want. This, too, followed him into adulthood. He'd smile when people made plans, but he never truly believed they'd follow through. Because trust, once broken in childhood, is hard to repair in adulthood. Epilogue: Breaking the Cycle. Ion is 27 now. He still struggles with self-doubt, especially when he makes mistakes. He still flinches at compliments. He still waits for people to abandon him, even when they love him. But he's healing. He's learned that not every adult is toxic. That love doesn't always come with conditions. That he was never a burden, just a boy looking for care. He's also made a promise, one he will keep. If he ever has children, he will listen more than he speaks. He will see them, not as extensions of himself, but as unique individuals. He will never say, "I wish you were different." Because he knows now, words don't just describe reality. They create it. Final thoughts. Toxic parenting isn't just about yelling or hitting. It's about the small, consistent emotional injuries that shape a child's view of themselves. It's about the voices that become internal dialogue. If you've lived this story, if you are Ion in any form, know this: you didn't deserve it. And you are not broken beyond repair. And if you're a parent reading this, or a future one, please remember, your words are seeds. Choose carefully what you plant. Because children don't forget. They grow up carrying your voice in their minds, long after your words have faded. Thank you for spending this time with us. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Don't Give Up. Let's continue exploring life's challenges and insights together.